It's amazing. 9 ways tobacco companies make cigarettes more addictive, more attractive to kids, and more deadly. Do you know they add chemicals to cigarettes that are bronchodilators? They open up the lungs so that the tobacco smoke passes more easily into it. They're controlling and regulating the amount of nicotine to ensure addiction. The flavorings, of course, that makes sense. Ammonia. This is freebasing. They started doing this. I remember when they started doing this because back in 72, we started the Woodley Herber Company. We were selling herbal teas and herbal potpourris, and I was talking to people in the herbal tea, in the extract business, because our potpourris, we were buying these herbal, like extract of what's the purple flower? Anyway, it's not lilac. It's no. Anyway, we were buying extract of rose and extract, and they sold these extracts to the tobacco companies. And we had at one point come out with a smoking mixture for people who wanted to quit smoking. It was a bunch of herbs, and or for people to cut their pot with, for that matter. I had like a collection of these extracts that these companies that sold it to the tobacco industry had sent to me, little tiny, little 1-ounce bottles. And one of them was ammonia, and I was like, "What do you do with ammonia?" And they're like, "Well, we're discovering that if we add ammonia to tobacco, it alkalizes the nicotine and turns it from an acid to a base. And the body is slightly acidic. And so when alkaline things hit the bloodstream, they bind to the blood really fast, and they get to the brain really fast. If you do this with cocaine, cocaine is slightly acidic normally. And if you add an alkalizing agent to cocaine so that it becomes it raises the pH, when you smoke that cocaine or even snort it or eat it, it hits the brain so much harder and so much faster. It's called freebasing. And the reason why it's called freebasing is because base is in chemistry another way of describing alkali. You have acids and base. Right? And ammonia freebases tobacco. So if you're smoking cigarettes, you're freebasing nicotine. They add levulinic acid, which softens the harsh taste of nicotine. Sugars and acetaldehyde make the tobacco smoke easier to inhale. Ventilated filters. This is interesting. The ventilation holes in the filters cause smokers to inhale more vigorously. You have to pull harder on the cigarette, which draws the carcinogens more deeply into the lungs. The bronchodilators, though, that's something I did not realize. They're actually putting drugs in these things that are, it's like you're sucking on an inhaler. It's amazing. 450,000 people a year in the United States die from this stuff. And we're sitting around going, oh my God, Hobby Lobby is going to, women are having abortions. If the Right to Life movement had really cared about life in America, they would be talking about, what about all the babies who need homes, who are already here? What about all the children in poverty? What about 500,000 people a year dying from nicotine or from cigarettes? What about 500,000 people a year dying from alcohol? I mean, these are our legal drugs.